One of the more controversial topics in my comment section is, hey, Azul, why should we pay off our debts? Particularly if you have a mortgage under 4%, right? So I want to talk about that. There's this beautiful scenery behind me here today. And I want to share with you a few reasons that I think if you're over 50, you should think about paying down your debt. And the first one, and I have to share that, I'm a big fan of optimizing on your life as opposed to optimizing on every dollar. I think you can over optimize on the finances and under optimize on your life. And so that's the background of where I'm coming from. So if you retire your debts, if you pay off your mortgage, if you don't have a car loan, if you don't have any credit card debt, it just gives you so much more flexibility. It gives you so much more freedom. And for me, that freedom, the ability to do what I want, where I want, when I want, and super importantly, with whom I want, that's important to me. And for folks that really value their freedom, that's the primary reason. Now, yes, if you have a mortgage below 4%, if you're 100% in the stock market, the odds are over an investment cycle, but remember, an investment cycle can be 10 years, right? So yes, the odds are that you're likely going to outperform that 4%, but there's no guarantees, right? How are you going to feel if the market is down 30 or 40%? And I know that that's rare, but let's say the market's down 10 or 20%. And if you said, I have a major purchase that I want to make in the next 3, 4, 5 years, and you asked me, should that money be in the stock market? Probably not, because you don't have an investment cycle to let that grow. And it's similar with your mortgage, right? If you've got 5 or 7 years to pay that off, those are fixed payments that you have to make, whether the stock market is down or whether the stock market is up. So, as I record this in 2023, the stock market's having a pretty good year. Now, admittedly, in 2022, it was down, but, you can look and say, if you're fearful of a recession, there's different ways that you can de-risk your portfolio, right? One is you can look at your asset allocation and say, how do I take some risk out of that? But another thing that you can do is you can look at your required payments in the future and say, how do I minimize those required payments? And so paying down your mortgage can be a way of de-risking your portfolio, right? And the nice thing about stocks is most of us don't buy stocks. Most of us don't buy on margin. We don't borrow money to invest. And I don't think you should, right? Unless you're a professional investor and you really know what you're getting into. Boy, you can get hurt in a hurry if you're borrowing money in order to invest in the stock market because you think you're going to be able to outperform. You might be able to, but boy, if you underperform, you can put yourself in a lot of pain. So as you're getting to be 50, as you're getting to be 60, having that flexibility, having that freedom, and then the money that you're not paying towards your mortgage, you can use that to have more adventures. You can use that to enjoy your life, and oftentimes the best answer is both, not either or you can use that money and say, you know what, I'm gonna save some more money. I'm gonna supercharge my retirements. I'm gonna take advantage of the catch-up provisions that I get as I get older, and I can put more money in my 401k. I can put more money in my health savings account, my HSA, if you qualify. You have to have a high deductible. Healthcare plan in order to be able to do that. So there's those things that you can do. So it's not just a one-way street. It's, yes, you have access to inexpensive capital, and we all like having inexpensive capital. So there's that, and then there's just the sleep at night factor. I think many of us are dreaming of the day where we can pay down our mortgage, where we don't have a mortgage anymore. After having the responsibility of a mortgage for 20, 30, 40 years, if you've refinanced, it can be really liberating to get rid of that and say, you know what, I don't have that responsibility over my shoulders anymore. And you know what? That really feels good to me. I'm glad that I don't have that. And if you can give yourself that gift earlier, I think it's worth thinking about. Now, for people that are in their 20s and 30s and even in their 40s, you know, having a mortgage has some advantages, particularly if your mortgage is under 4%, right? It's kind of a forced savings. And we know that over half of the people in America that make over $100,000 a year don't save a dime, right? So for those folks, having forced savings can be a good thing. It also gives you discipline, right? You can't just say, you know what, I'm not happy at my job anymore. I'm going to quit. I don't know what's coming next, but I'll figure it out, right? Yes, a lot of people have done that and they've been able to do it successfully. But you know what? Most people are better served to know what they're going to do first. So having a mortgage, I think, instills some discipline. But you know, discipline over 20, 30, 40 years, that can feel encumbering, right? That can feel like handcuffs, and even if they are golden handcuffs. And boy, it can feel good to free yourself from those handcuffs. So that's another reason, is just to be able to celebrate, not having a mortgage anymore. And then the other thing is, you know, there's costs associated with having a mortgage. There's certain rules or certain types of insurance that your mortgage provider is going to ask you to have, right? And most of those you're going to want to have as well. I'm not giving insurance advice here, and I'm not giving you advice on what you should do on your mortgage, right? I don't know your situation, so I can't tell you that. I wish I could. But you should talk to a professional, either a fee-only financial advisor. You can find one by Googling one near you, or you can work with an accountant that knows your situation and help you come up with that, right? And I can tell you that the academic answer, if your mortgage is below 4%, the academic answer is likely going to be, you know, you probably should not pay off your mortgage, right? But a good financial advisor will help you make the right decision, including who you are, right? We could have two people in a very similar situation. I've had clients in very similar situations, right? Similar ages, similar retirement account balances, similar goals in life financially, but their goals in life outside of financial were different. And so in one case, the right answer for somebody was to not pay off their mortgage. Let's say, you know, they're getting out of the work world and they want to start building up a portfolio of rental properties. Well, for that person, having access to that low cost primary residence is going to be a good thing. And somebody else could be the same age, same goals for when to retire, but instead of having rental income as part of the foundation of their retirement account, they're going to have the investment accounts. Maybe they're going to have a dividend portfolio. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, I encourage you to watch this video here that talks about average retiree income in America, and this video down here that talks about 5 reasons to think about retiring as soon as you can.